Steve's used to having that whole end all to himself.
Huh?
You're used to having that whole end all to yourself.
Yeah.
I'd like to call.
Are we on? Okay. November 4th, 2025, a 6 PM meeting to order, Marquette County Board of Commissioners. Evan, would you be kind enough to lead us off in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Evan. Corey Beth, roll call, please.
Commissioner Newman?
Here.
Commissioner Adamini?
Here.
Commissioner Lowell? Here.
No.
Commissioner Alho? Here. Commissioner Nordine?
Here.
And Chairperson DeRocha?
I am here. Present. Approval of tonight's agenda.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Lalonde. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Newman.
Yeah, that'll take a second to use.
Any questions or comments on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approval of the minutes of the following meeting, regular meeting held on October 21st, 2025. Your pleasure, board.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Alholm.
Support.
Support by Commissioner Lalonde. Questions or comments on the minutes? October 21. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have to abstain.
Oh, one abstention. No proclamations, presentations, and award. Public comment. Public comment. So the first public comment is a 5-minute public comment. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please state your name and you have the floor.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Sarah Kelso, and I am the District Forester at the Marquette County Conservation District. And I just wanted to come here tonight, introduce myself, and let you folks know what it is that I do for the landowners in Marquette County. So my job is to provide forestry assistance to anyone who owns land in Marquette County. So that could be someone who has a city lot here in town with a tree on it, or 200 acres out in a public township. I offer free public assistance to folks. So my job is to go out to the property, meet them one-on-one, walk the land with them, help them understand what is growing there, help them understand what their goals are and what can be done to meet those goals. So that can be getting them in touch with public sector agencies who can help with funding to help folks get work done on their land, as well as providing referral services to private sector consulting agencies, other organizations that folks can hire to get the work done on their land. So my job is to make that connection between landowners and the folks who can do the work. So in the last year, that's resulted in about $1 million through referral services of local landowners receiving money and paying local consulting agencies to do work on their land to take care of our forests. I also help administer the Qualified Forest Program, which is a tax reduction program in the state of Michigan that rewards landowners for sustainably managing their forest land and contributing to Michigan's timber economy. And in response to that, they get a tax break on their forest land. So my job is to help folks apply for that program and then carry out the deliverables once they are enrolled. I also do a lot of outreach and education. That's working with school kids, hosting workshops. You may have heard of our tree sale that we hold every year, so I help folks understand what trees are going to grow best on their property, how to plant them, how to take care of them once they start growing, and being a part of that process all the way through. My job is to, like I stated, really just help folks in Marquette County understand the forest. Last year I received a statewide award recognizing the work I'm doing in Marquette County because folks all around Michigan know how special the forests are in Marquette County and how important it is to keep stewarding them. So my funding to pay for my position comes from a grant from the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development through the Forestry Assistance Program. this past year with the state budget that was cut by a little bit, but the state was able to absorb that in order to keep myself and my counterparts around the state employed this year. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I am here. I'm doing this all across Marquette County. I have some handouts for everyone. My contact information is on here as well. If folks have questions, I'm happy to chat about the program. I can talk about trees all day. So I want to leave this with you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Public comment. Public comment. Any further public comment? Public comment. Any electronic participation? No? No? One more time, and then we'll close the first public comment period. Item 2. Okay, we've closed the first public comment period. Review of claims and accounts, total expenditures paid via check and ETF transfer for the period of October 17, 2025 through October 30th, 2025 were $1,160,222.43, and the biweekly payroll for October 25th, 2025 was $900,144.90. Your pleasure, board.
Move to pay the bill.
Motion by Commissioner Alholm. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Adamini. Questions or comments on the bills? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pay the bills, Cammie. No public hearings. Privilege comment. Under Sheriff Larson, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to present our October stats for the Sheriff's Office tonight. I'm just going to try something a little bit different with IT here, so just bear with me. It's not showing up on these though.
Showing up on my screen.
No, but it's not going to TVs. That's all right. I can roll without it. All right. Basically, start out in our corrections, our jail. Kind of some. We've been trending upwards on everything in our jail. We're now averaging 89 in our 80-bed jail right now. That's up from 85 the previous month. And in addition, we've had 33 average boarded out, which has also increased from 30 last month. And then also increases how many we've released. So we went from releasing 0 under our jail management plan the previous month to last month releasing 7. So we had those high numbers plus we released 7. So lot going on there. And our average federal population went up to, from 1 to 2. Our road patrol has remained fairly stable, answering 341 calls for service. And the major cases being our case reports at 62, and our crashes were up considerably, and our civil process has been fairly consistent. 131 had a busy month with 4 personal injury crashes and 1 water ice rescue. No, we don't have ice yet. Won't be long. And then 3 structure fire responses. We had 1 missing person for search and rescue and an injured person extraction. For our front office, another troubling number that I saw was we went from the previous month of entering 41 warrants for the month to 72. So with our high jail population and the amount of warrants going up, I would following that logic, I would assume that the jail population is going to go up even more with having such a high warrant load, and that most of those warrants would be for that we handle are the bench warrants when people failure to appear for different court cases or don't do what the judge or magistrate told them to do. So those numbers are almost double of what we've been seeing, so that's kind of concerning. Handguns registered 152, And Protect the Borders did 26 and verified 24 sex offenders. Any questions or comments?
Did you find the missing person?
Yes. Yes. Our search and rescue team, for being an all volunteer team like that, the commitment that they give to this community is tremendous. So even though we have all this technology, it's not always, sometimes we just need ground pounders out there to find the people.
131, under sheriff, is there anything special that you need for the 131 crew?
I just had a meeting today, and we'll be moving something down the line for
Okay.
some additional equipment.
That's a valuable thing for Marquette County residents.
Yeah, how's it working? I know we got the new truck. It was a big change. And I know there were some kinks they had, but is everything working out?
Yeah, wonderful. They love the truck. No regrets, other than
Well,
it's
big?
so
Well,
tall,
tall.
it's tough to get stuff in the upper drawers.
Yeah.
But they have little step ladders, they can get it. So it was very well planned out, well thought out in how that truck was set up, so.
Well, they provide a very valuable, they're a valuable asset to Marquette County if whether you're an accident or it's a house fire, as support for local fire departments, and also search and rescue as well, so.
We couldn't do it without them.
Thank you.
So I was gonna ask, because 131 crew, I don't think the average public knows what that is.
Huh?
Right, and so it's a technical rescue unit. It's actually paid for out of millage, and I think it mainly started as kind of like the jaws of life. A lot of fire departments didn't have that kind of, and so when you had a serious accident, they would provide that service. They've evolved over the years now where they not only do that, they also are like a rescue team. If a firefighter goes down inside of a structure, they'll go down and save them. They do hazardous material decontamination, so if anyone's into some type of hazardous environment and they need to be decontaminated, they do that. And then where they really shined last month, although it wasn't a successful rescue, but working on that confined space rescue that they did, a rescue attempt at the Hoist Dam. And basically Marquette City and 131 are the only group in the area that could do something like that. So some of those calls, it's very rare when they get called out, but the reality is when they need to be called out, they're the only ones. So.
There's a very practical thing. When there's a big structure fire, they come and they change out oxygen bottles of all things. Because firefighters, we go through a lot of oxygen, and pretty soon you run out of bottles, you got a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that 131 unit comes in and fills the bottles and backfills them and gets everybody prepped. And then they, like you said, they give what's called a RIT team, a rapid intervention team, I guess it's called. Mm-hmm. And so they're there in case a firefighter goes down, they're there to go pull them back out. So.
And most of these small departments, I'll add to yours, doesn't have a cascade system, so they have an onboard cascade on the truck, which allows this, so it's just great stuff, just great
It's really
stuff.
good. Thank you for explaining it.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you, Lowell.
Yep.
Moving on, informational items. You have in your packet, DNR road inventory. I want to take note that in the first paragraph, the Department of Natural Resources hereby provides notice and intent to close certain forest roads to conventional vehicles, close certain roads to off-road vehicles, and open certain forest roads to off-road vehicles. So I don't know if this is a response to the 350 miles of Cleveland Cliffs easements that we've obtained, or this is something that's done on an annual basis, but I wanted the board to take note, and I'm certainly going to follow up with a call and get inventory on these roads that they're proposing to close, and get this document out to all of the trail entities that are throughout Marquette County, all of the trail groups, because I'm sure they're interested in this as well. You know, when we start talking about closing public trails that have been purchased with ATV money, it raises questions, so take note on that. Motion to accept for file.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Alholm, support by Vice Chair Nordine. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Action items. Action item 10A, K.I. Sawyer Water Treatment Aeration Construction Contract. David?
No, I can speak to that.
Okay.
Chairperson.
Go ahead.
What this is relating to the aeration building at one of the buildings at the K.I. Sawyer Water Wastewater Department. This building is one of the original buildings with the Air Force's water treatment plant. It has experienced some deterioration with some of the cinder blocks succumbing to some water damage. We had gone out and had an engineer's estimate a couple of years back on some repairs. One of the repairs was to take out the concrete blocks and replace it. That was the process that we looked at pursuing. We did a original estimate on it from the engineers between $450,000 and $600,000. So we had budgeted for that through our capital outlay in the wastewater department. We went out for bids. We had 3 bidding agencies at our pre-bid meeting. Out of those 3 bids, only one had come out and actually submitted a bid. That was Klausner Construction. What we're looking for, and the bid came in at $817,500. We're requesting the board's consideration and approving that project to proceed forward. That would be a project that would take place over the winter months. This would again repair the building, provide some necessary improvements to include repairing the cinder blocks, put a new roof on, and we're going to put in some new aeration plumbing in one of the storage tanks. So
How big is this building, Dwayne? Do we know?
I don't know the square footage right offhand, but I know the 2 tanks equal nearly 1.5 million gallons of wastewater.
So you got $100,000 mathematical error. And the funding source, it says 656 plus 100 equals 856, so it's halfway $100,000.
That my apologies.
I was doing it, you were doing the same thing, weren't you?
We originally budgeted just a $600,000 budget, if I'm remembering correctly. The price came in a little higher. We do have additional funding that we can blend from 25 and 26 capital outlay. So the project is still $817,500. We'll pull $756,000 out of capital outlay, and then we were successful with an MDR grant for $100,000. So we'll be able to pay for this with those funds.
And we have the funding in capital?
Yes, we do have all the funding.
So staff has made a recommendation, is there?
Move to
Any-
follow staff's recommendation on this project.
Motion by Commissioner Alholm, is there support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Lalone. Any further questions or comments for staff? Go ahead.
I would like to know if this is all the anticipated repairs for this building, or are we looking down the road, really short-term road of more repairs?
Well, for this particular building, this is a structural repair, and this is all we're anticipating with this structure. Granted, we'll continue to have ongoing maintenance within the building. There's pumps and such that we'll be addressing moving down the road. But for this particular operation, or this project, these are the repairs that will bring the building up to par for years to come.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.
Dwayne, do you ever get a response from the other contractors who attended the pre-bid meeting and decided not to bid? Do you ever get any feedback?
Not directly. I suspect that we could reach out and ask them why they didn't bid, but for the most part, the only response we get are which bidders are the ones that want to apply for the project.
I'd just be curious to see, they were interested enough to come to the pre-bid meeting and then they didn't submit. I was wondering what transpired that caused them to decline.
That is a good question. I suspect we could reach out to those contractors and see if they want to provide some detail on why they didn't submit a bid.
Okay.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next up,
Now we have David.
10B, Air Traffic Control Tower Upgrades. David, you have the floor, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is for the air traffic control tower upgrades project. This recommendation to award for the bid for the project. This was something we did a rebid on in July. Ended up getting 2 contractors to bid this time. I'm looking at the wrong one, sorry. And that was Cross and Klausner, and do have the figures down there. It's to replace 3 different line items. That's the HVAC system, both heating and cooling, air traffic control equipment, that's the radios, replacement of those for both ground and air and the backups, as well as a high-rise escape system, so a system to evacuate the tower because it's a stairwell that's fully enclosed in the building for fire protection. There needs to be an exterior egress. So those 3 items are the ones we were able to adequately cover with the funding that was available, which is $1.5 million this time around. And Cross came in with a total bid of $962,800, and looking for a recommendation to award Cross Construction with the contract and move forward with the contractor owner agreement, which has been through civil council, so it's ready for Mr. DeRoche's signature.
I would move to follow staff's recommendation and award this contract to Cross General Contracting.
Motion on the floor by the Vice Chair.
Support.
Support by Commissioner Malone.
Oh.
Questions or comments?
1.5 million and we only have 962,000. Can we add more to the project?
That's the construction portion of the project, so much of that is also the construction administration, so Mead and Hunt's services as contractor. Dwayne might be able to speak.
Yeah, just to also, there is some added cost in there, because if the board recalls, we did originally go out for design before we went through this. To submit the request for grant funding, we needed to do a preliminary design. So there is, not only with the construction admin, there is a design component that we had to add into that as well. So we're going to get reimbursed for all of those expenses.
So we're going to use the 1.5 million you're saying?
Yes, to pay for our preliminary engineering, construction admin.
And our
then-
reimbursement from what we did before.
And another quick component to this project here is 100%
Honestly, that, yeah.
federally funded.
There is
so
no
that-
local share of this project, so. this
We
is-
like that. That's the best kind, right?
So I had a question. So is Cross local?
Yeah.
They're out of Munising.
Yeah, kind of local.
Do you like local?
Yeah.
I've got a question. We had money put into this, the control tower for air and ground radios just within a year or so. Didn't we, there was kind of a big kind of a meltdown on them and.
What we did in the previous project is we replaced, like the bridge between the radios, the existing aircraft radios and the transmitting devices. They were almost like, think of it like a workstation with the controls. So it really wasn't the radios themselves, it was more of the control station, where we upgraded it to a software that was a little bit more robust. Everything else was solid state coming back from 1993 construction.
And what about the elevator?
That one, David, I don't want to speak too much for David, but I know we are going to apply for another grant with the FAA for additional funding, because if the board may recall, we originally had done this project and it came at 6.4 million for all the projects. We were successful with 1.5. We're going to submit another request, or I should say, David's going to submit another request for the remaining funds, and fingers crossed we'll be able to bring this over the finish line. And again, all of these projects or all of these grant funding mechanisms are 100% federally funded, so we're fingers crossed that we'll be able to get all of the projects that we originally slated.
Chip away at it, eh?
Yeah,
Well,
well, the request for next year, if it were to be granted in full, would cover the elevator, among other things, but.
I certainly
The-
I certainly have not forgotten Vinny. He has to go up and down those stairs, and so, we've not forgotten about him for
The
sure.
high-rise escape system, that's what we talked about last time?
Yes, that.
So they can go out and,
Safe,
Yeah,
safety exit.
well, that's good.
Okay, so we have a motion and support on the floor. Any further questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 10C, you're still up. David.
This is for another project for next year. That's a passenger boarding bridge replacement, replacing both boarding bridges for the terminal in 2026. We've awarded a contract, but this is for the construction admin. Mead Hunt has done the design portion of the project, and it's customary that they then extend the contract to cover the construction portion. That would be an additional $302,072, excuse me. And that did go through an IFE, which concluded that 690 to about 843,000 was appropriate. So they did come in under what was estimated, and it's in the grand scope of a over $5.5 million project to replace. But on the second page, if you look, I've got the funding breakdown. We're using airport improvement program funds as well as bipartisan infrastructure law plan funds, which the AIP, that's 95, 2.5 for federal, state, local, and per bill it is 95 and 5 and no local. So even though it's a $5.5 million project, that ends up being just $3,778.50 that's covered locally for the whole project. So relatively small amount compared to what we're able to accomplish with it. Looking for a motion to approve the contract, the construction administration agreement with Mead Hunt for the remainder of the project, and signature on that contract as well, which has also been through Civil Council.
So Cammie, can we come up with the $3,700?
I think we'll find it.
We'll be able to find it, okay. So,
I'll move to follow staff's recommendation and award, and do this project.
motion by Vice Chair Nordine, is there support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Adamini.
Yeah, I sure like it again when you have a big
Nice.
project like this and only a couple $1,000s in local funding. Sure.
Do we already have the federal funds?
Both of the grants have been awarded,
Okay.
so we're moving forward with that.
So we have a motion and support. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. 10D. This one's you, Cammie. You have the floor,
Sure.
CFO.
I have a memo regarding our third quarter budget amendment. As you can see, I had to find more than $3,000 in our budget. Most of the adjustments are for our 4% negotiated wage increases, which we haven't adjusted for yet. Various small minor budget overruns in various departments. What saved us this year was $400,000 worth of pharmaceutical rebates that we have received from our previous self-insured plan. Apart from that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. I apologize for the lengthiness,
For what?
for the length of this
Oh.
budget amendment.
Well, you're required to do them, right? We find new money, then you gotta allocate it to something, right?
So I have a couple of questions, Cammie. One on the item 23, friend of the court, additional increases there. Do we know what that was due to?
The attorney that is handling family support is working at a higher wage rate than what we originally budgeted for. So this affects our reimbursement and transfer that is required from general fund. At the same time, what we're projecting for the friend of the court division is not gonna be as high this year as we expected, so that will probably offset each other.
So who's the attorney that's hired there? Do we know?
Chief Assistant Prosecutor,
Okay,
who replaced, well,
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota, okay.
Dakota, yeah,
So she's at a higher rate than what was previously budgeted?
correct.
And number 24, it's a big number for the Board of Health.
Board of Health just had their meeting last week, and our records are just mirroring their board-approved budget amendment. Just to point out, there's no additional request for support from the county our support stays at $625,000 for the year.
For fiscal,
25
25.
and 26.
Okay, so, okay, that was my, thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody have any further questions or comments for the CFO? Hearing none, I would look for a motion to make third quarter budget amendments.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Alholm. Is there a support?
Support.
Support by Vice Chair Nordine. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Make
you.
your adjustments, Ken. Civil Council, interim service contract. Dwayne?
Yes, Commissioners, what we have before you is a request to move forward with a month-to-month agreement with our current civil council until we can acquire a Attorney General opinion on current conflicts of interest. This would be a month-to-month agreement, cancelable within 30 days by either party with Berger Law. This is coming about after Commissioner Newmanin was elected into or appointed into the position as a county commissioner, and he had to resign from his existing position as civil counsel. So what we're requesting is a board consider moving forward with this agreement on a month-to-month until we can come up with the Attorney General's opinion or go up for an RFQ for civil counsel.
Okay, so I want to weigh in on, so there's been this looming conflict with the county board's civil counsel, and I think we should, the board should look at taking action, whether it's through our legislature, through the Senator McBroom, or maybe Representative Bonac, and ask for we can give a historic history of the civil council for this board, and maybe get a Attorney General opinion on what is a conflict and have it spelled out at the state level, so we know we don't have this rear its head any longer. Anybody wanna?
As I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's the judges who are bringing forth this issue of a possible conflict of interest.
That is correct.
And have we actually requested an opinion at this point?
Not at this point, no.
So I would like to see that as part of the recommendation.
Okay. Is that in form of a motion?
Yes, it is.
That's a motion by Commissioner Alholm. Is there support?
I support it. Second.
Support by Commissioner Newmanin.
Was it I gotta make your motion right. I mean, you're saying to proceed with this contract and
ask
request
the
at the
Attorney
same
General
time,
to
so all one thing,
resolve
right?
or hopefully resolve the
Okay.
issue brought by the
Yes.
judges of this conflict of interest thing. Have we gotten anything from the judges in writing, setting forth their actual concerns? Because that would be helpful to send.
Yes.
For an opinion, because, okay.
Yes, there's one on file.
All right.
Yes.
There's a very distinct process to request an Attorney General opinion, and I'm sure Mr. Berger can handle and take care of that, make that request now that the board has approved that. But let me just say, as being the most recent civil counsel that served in this position, there is no conflict of interest. This position of civil counsel went from an in-house position within the prosecutor's office to Mr. Adamini was the first independent civil counsel. He continued to practice law in this county. Steve Pence, my former law partner, was a private practice attorney. He continued to practice law while he was a civil counsel. Wendy Marquette, the next one, was a private practice attorney. She continued to practice law as civil counsel. Then I took over. I continued to practice law for 1.5 years, and there was no conflict of interest that ever arose, period. And then when Mr. Berger took over, we've just got to put this issue to bed. There is no conflict of
Yeah, it's
interest.
carried over for a few years now from one civil council to the other, and it's always been kind of concerning to me because one thing, conflicts of interest can be waived by the party that may have a conflict.
Of course.
And, it's not that broad of a.
Well, and it's such a
issue.
rare opportunity. I think that, and I'm not speaking for the judges on this, but my understanding is the judges expressed a concern that if, and I emphasize the word if, a civil action is brought against one of the judges in our county,
All right.
can our civil counsel defend and represent that judge in a civil claim? And the fact of the matter is, I don't think this ever happened. It never happened during my tenure as civil counsel. And if it did, if it does happen, we have an insurance company that provides insurance coverage for civil counsel. We have a firm downstate that represents Marquette County in litigation claims, and they would represent the judges if they were sued in their official capacity. I don't even foresee how a conflict could appear in that regard, because it wouldn't be Mr. Berger handling the case in the first place. It would be assigned through our insurance policy. We have coverage for all Marquette County employees acting in the scope of their duties. And our insurance company would have assigned counsel that had been working with Marquette County for decades, and they would handle the claim. It wouldn't even be handled internally. So I'm sure Mr. Berger will handle making the request to the Attorney General's office for a formal opinion on this. We cannot be the first county board of commissioners in the state of Michigan with 83 counties that have had this appear before. There's got to be a quick and easy resolution of this. When it came to my attention a year ago, I looked into it, did the research, found that there was no conflict. I believe that the prosecuting attorney from Marquette County has also looked into the ethics opinions of the Bar Association, and she has not reported back any ethical opinion which would indicate there's a conflict. But I think we can get it resolved once and for all, finally, for all time, by getting an opinion from the Attorney General's office. And they've got folks there that's their job. Give us that opinion, and we'll put the matter to bed once and for all.
Well, did we receive anything from the judges that was detailed in any way in terms of why they thought this existed? Any references?
No.
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 No cite to any case law, no cite to any ethics opinion, no cite to any Attorney General's opinion, just their notion, I think, that there may be an appearance of a potential of a conflict, because some litigant might be saying, well, wait a minute, this Mr. Smith here represents the county on Tuesday nights, but today he's representing this defendant before the court. How can that be? Well, I mean, I represent people on on all kinds of things. I obviously wouldn't, as a practicing attorney, bring a case against the county, Marquette County. That would be a conflict. But it doesn't mean I can't represent people within Marquette County system. Every civil counsel who's ever had this job has done that. So enough of that. That's my piece.
Well, whether this is based on a notion or based otherwise, I think it's important to put it to rest.
You
So-
brought it up, so let's.
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
so the judges put that in writing, they brought it forward. Frankly, over the last 2 years, I'm sick of dealing with it, and I'd like the Attorney General to weigh in,
Yeah.
because I've had my fill with this,
Okay.
and I want it gone off the table. So, we have a motion on the floor and support. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none.
I heartily endorse this.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Late additions, no late additions. Public comment. We have a second public comment period, which is for three minutes. Is there public comment? Welcome, Margaret.
I hesitate to bring this to someone's attention, but realizing that if I don't say it, maybe no one will, your clock needs to be reset underneath. It says 7:38, and that one says 6:38. And I know somebody focused on that one and just, maybe that one wasn't working there. Just also want to remind people two things. Today's election day, the polls are open until 8. City Commission, Board of Light and Power, I'm running, I appreciate your vote. In the 3 years I've been on the commission, the Board of Light and Power never missed a meeting. We have met our budget, we have met our audit, and we have not raised rates. And in the meantime, normally when you flip on the switch, the power comes on. And this is a tough time for us. We recently lost a subcontractor employee to a car wreck on 553. And speaking as a human, not as a member of the BLP, anything the Sheriff's Department can do, I'm thinking those little things you throw out on the road that break the tires, I'm fine with those. I mean, as a person, not as a member of the BLP, just throw them out at random. And that way people will stop going so fast. And I apologize, I don't mean to be flippant about that, but I did want to bring it up because we had another car accident in the UP, and I'm getting to be more afraid of just driving, period, than I am of anything else. And one other thing, last time I was here, which I think was 2 weeks ago, it was starting to appear that the government might not fund the SNAP cards, the SNAP program where people get a tiny amount of, we're not talking even 100 here, 200 there. It's for nutritional assistance for families that need assistance in just putting food on the table. As you know, they have not funded for this month. 2 federal judges have ordered President Trump to release the money. He said last week he would, but it would take a while. Today he said he wouldn't. And in the meantime, the people who are actually trying to do it say it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before the federal money can get to the states to get to the cards. So everywhere you go, just please carry a can of vegetables with you, and there's collection points all over town. Went to the doctor, went to the dentist, they're collecting. The food pantries are literally, they let a certain number of people in, the shelves are dry, and the next day they load up again. This is an ongoing, it's an ongoing crisis. And we don't see it right now because people are not yet at their wits' end, breaking into people's homes to try to get food. But this thing is just, this thing is affecting 1 in 8 households nationwide, and that's 1 in 8 households up here too. And the statistics are, odds are pretty good. You know somebody who is depending upon the SNAP cards. Food banks are trying as best as they can, but they were supposed to be the backup, never the main thing. So once again, I ask you as the leaders of the county to be seen. I know you were at the Canathon opening. It's so bad that the Canathon normally waits until December to distribute. Now they're going to do a weekly distribution. Okay, I've talked too much. I know. You don't have to look at him. You can just give me the look.
You should have went to the first one. The first one you had 5 minutes. This one is only 3.
Well, but your clock is messed up.
Yeah, you're on daylight savings time.
So, just to sum up, it's still bad, and whatever you heard, it's worse than bad, because nobody can believe it actually happened, and now it has happened. So please be seen as leading the charge to provide food for the food banks. Thank you very much. And again, once you fix the clock, it'll be better.
Thank you.
It makes you feel better. I came to court yesterday and that clock had a dead battery, and I went and got a battery and fixed that one. Just saying.
I believe you.
We have maintenance people here, I think.
I know, but I did it.
I totally believe you. I'm really happy for that. I just couldn't let that one slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Public comment. Public comment. Any further public comment? Any electronic participation? No? So we'll close the public comment period. Commissioners' comments. Let's start with our new commissioner. Commissioner.
Thank you. So when I read the budget materials and the action items today, I just want to say it is really truly impressive what Dwayne and David have done with the airport, getting millions of dollars in grant funding for airport improvement projects. That is truly impressive, and you guys deserve our accolades for doing that. Thank you.
Commissioner Adamini.
No, I'm okay.
Commissioner Lalone.
I'll give you a little update. So I am on the United Way Board for work. And the can drive started last week, and I was there here like the last hour of it because I had a meeting throughout the day, but they have collected, I thought, over $5,000 worth of canned goods. And he said that when I talked to Andrew, the director, there was a great turnout of people giving. And what I've seen on social media is a lot of our local businesses are putting out a bin for donations and posting it online. In Nagani, I know we have Love and Bicycles. Here in Marquette, I saw Dead River. And then we had another posting, I don't remember which one it was, but like everywhere in our co-op, they're all doing their part. That means a lot. And you can even just drop off at your preferred food shelter if you want to, food pantry. I'm not the best public speaker, but I'm trying. Another thing to think about too is contacting our state and local reps and our federal reps and letting them know how we feel about this, because we're not pawns. Our people shouldn't be put out like this. I'm a previous SNAP benefit person back when my children were little and I was making very low income, and I think I received about $100 maybe a month, and it meant a lot. And I think I was only making $10 an hour at that time with a full-time job. So it means a lot to me seeing the people turning out and giving right now. And also giving to CAM as well with Head Start closing. It's pretty awesome. We have a great community. There.
Commissioner Elholm,
Nothing to add to that. That was excellent.
Vice Chair.
Well, I have an announcement, sort of. It's a sort of announcement. So, just so you all know, I'm going to run for District Court Judge.
Wow,
You might have heard that.
congratulations.
Although I'm going to have more of a formal announcement in about 5 weeks, and the reason for that is my daughter's in law school, and I want to wait for her to come home so I have my family together. So I'll do it then. But I did want you all to know that in case you had heard rumors or whatever. So Roger Kangas has done a wonderful job as a district court judge. Unfortunately, he's unable to run again. So there's an opening there, and I think, so I'm going to put my hat in that ring. So.
Well, congratulations.
We'll see how I'm not sure if I should get off the board or wait to see what happens with that election, but we'll see as we go forward here.
Mr. Dure, you have the floor.
Yeah, I just want to mirror the comments from the commissioner. Is when you're out and about and you see a box for a can drive, I'd say everybody, if they can, throw some cans in there, because there's a lot of needy families.
Alex?
Yes, thank you for keeping me on board, and I'll get that Attorney General's opinion request out tomorrow.
Okay. We'll have to give you the full history going back right to the prosecutor's office.
It doesn't have to be tomorrow. We want it done thoroughly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I've looked at the statutes that you first make a formal request and then you supplement.
Okay. Thank you. Camille Fossbender?
No comment, thank you.
Corey Beth?
I don't think I have anything.
Well, I guess I don't really have anything to add other than I'm very pleased with staff. I'll ditto Mr. Newman's comments about the job that staff has done, and the workload that's been put on them has been significant lately as we're working on some projects, and stay tuned on that. But they've really stepped up and done a lot of extra work, and I applaud Dwayne and Cammie as well, and Alex. So that's all I have. Meeting adjourned. All right.